Microsoft Flight Simulator Sim Update 3 has been delayed. If you clicked on this video, you're probably interested to find out why the Sim Update 3 has been delayed. We've got all your Flight Simulator news covered here, including all the previews and releases and the news about the delay. Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator update video. My name is Oz Flight Simmer. This is where we bring you all the news and updates on the development of this new flight sim. If you want to stay up to date with all the Microsoft Flight Simulator news, hit that subscribe button and help us out reach our goal of 65,000 subscribers before the end of February. It's nearly the end, it's only a few days away. But before we talk about the Sim Update 3 delays, let's jump into this week's previews and releases. And remember to stick around as we talk a little bit about sim contrails and visual effects at the end of the video. Just Flight this week announces they are developing a Hawk TA1 Advanced trainer for the new sim. During the development, the team has also had access to an X-RAF jet to get as much detail from that as possible. Interior modelling is nearly complete and the team is about to start coding. From the pictures we see here, the interior and the exterior should be very highly detailed. No word yet on release date or price, but we'll keep you posted in the channel here. Moving on to Coronado, have they announced and will be releasing a Piper PA-28R for the new sim. This aircraft will come with two default GNS 430s, which is the default Microsoft versions. Custom autopilot system has been developed and also engine and wind sound effects for the aircraft. Tested by real pilots, but that's a standard feature for any Coronado product. They always have that feature in there. No ETA or price, but it's coming very, very soon. Remember, for a little disclaimer out there, Just Flight is working on a Piper Arrow as well, which is generally for them highly detailed. So there's a couple of Pipers coming out, so you might want to wait for both before you decide which one you will get. We will keep you posted on the development and also the release of the Piper PA-28R from Coronado. The CRJ from Aerosoft must be close to being released. Over the past week, a YouTuber called The Dude has had access to the sim, showcasing lessons on the outside checks and also the FMS. You can get a real sense of what the aircraft looks like and the capabilities within the sim from these videos. No ETA, but it shouldn't be too far away. We do know that the CRJ package will be around €42. Links in the description below for The Dude's YouTube channel if you want to check out the vids. Moving on to this week's releases, Orbex releases its new landmark package, a Brisbane City Pack for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Brisbane is the capital city of Queensland, which is known as the Sunshine State in Australia. The landmark city package includes highly detailed landmarks such as the Gabba or Suncorp Stadium and a bunch of all the other iconic buildings around the city. 122 custom-made objects and buildings have been included, developed by the same team who developed the Singapore landmark. Being a local to Queensland, I can vouch that this city is a very accurate representation of the Brisbane city and as what the locals will call it, Bris Vegas. You can pick up your copy directly from the Orbex store. I'll leave links in the description below. Aerosoft this week releases a Bonaire airport for the new sim. This Caribbean airport sees regular flights around the world with such airlines as United Airlines, KLM and American Airlines to mention a few. Some of the airport features include a custom orthographic images covering the airport and close vicinity. The airport was designed with thousands of on-site images, interior modeling including airport terminals, ambient passenger animations which will bring the airport to life and various other animations such as flags. A custom windsock model has also been included. You can pick up your copy of Bonaire directly from the Aerosoft store. I will leave a link in the notes below. Moving on to this week's community highlight. This one goes out to a YouTube channel called Authentic Kit. This team is designing flight control hardware for free. The first range of controls will be for the Spitfire Mark 10 with its iconic spade grip. Then they'll be moving to a trim wheel and throttles and landing gear and flaps. They have a bunch of GA flight controls planned to follow. The team will be sharing their plans and processes on how to build your own flight controls. If this is something you're interested in, I would recommend checking out the YouTube channel. I will leave a link below. The Microsoft team mentioned on the 20th of February that the lift effect for the flaps had doubled. So if you thought your landing skill had diminished in the last week with big floats, balloons, and too many go-arounds to count, it wasn't you. This was due to a bug that was introduced in the last World Update patch. Originally, the team wasn't going to hotfix it. They said they would just include it in next week's sim update, which was to be next week. Moving to the future, the team have now gone back and said they've listened to us as the community about the flaps issue, and they're now going to introduce a hotfix next week instead of the next sim update. This will now cause Sim Update 3 and the World Update 4 to be postponed by a week. The team started off so well, in my opinion, with launches and updates given on the dates that they put forward, but now it's slowly slipping away. Hopefully this won't be a sign of the future. I personally wanted to see a hotfix last week and then the sim update this fix, but maybe that's asking a little bit too much. Let me know in the comments what you think about the issues and also the delays with the sim currently. Taking a look at this week's bug slash wishlist slash VR snapshot, we're trying to find some sort of insight of what features may be making their way to the next Sim Update 3. On the bug side of things, we've seen two new additions. World Update 3, the Flight Dynamics hotfix, which has been started, which we just mentioned before. The next one is glowing aircraft and objects, which has been started, and that will make Sim Update 3. On the wish list and the VR, there's nothing new there to be included, but the Microsoft team will be having their next Q&A on the 10th of March, which is very, very interesting. Remember that date. We should gain some sort of real insight on what's going on and what will be included in future updates, and we will be talking soon in the video about contrails and visual effects shortly. The new development roadmap has now been released and updated, and yet again no mention of a Xbox release just yet. Hopefully we get something soon. As you can see, the Sim Update 3 has been pushed back, and now the World Update 4 has been pushed back to early April. Now moving over to a new development roadmap, which is a SDK one. This is where things get really interesting, and we're going to try to read between the lines here just a little bit. We see that in-sim contrails and visual effects will be hitting the SDK on the 11th. Now the good news is there's a Q&A development from the Microsoft devs, which is happening on the 10th. Now just reading between the lines here, we may see an announcement on the 10th that contrails and effects will be introduced in the next Sim Update 3, which should be or could be the flagship feature for this Sim update. Let me know in the comments below, do you think that we'll see a Sim contrails and effects hitting the aircraft in the next Sim update? I would love to know and see what you guys think in the comments below. The latest third-party release stats are showing this week, which have been 19 new airports across different store platforms, 0 new aircraft, which we did know about, and 7 new sceneries. If you enjoyed the video and you got some value out of listening to me rant and rave about news and insights when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator, please hit that like button and also the subscribe button if you want to hear more about news up and coming in the future. Help us hit our goal of 65,000 subscribers before the end of February. It's getting very, very, very close. I'm going to leave you with another Flight Sim video. Why don't you check that one out, and I will see you over there.